stars, and that's who we are. We are voices. There's nothing to fear. Explode in your rear. Feel our voices.
We're exploding.
Explode, Joe! Explode!
I like this. I like this. I'm exploding.
And now you're a man.
Same thing happened when I was 13.
It's touching. Hey, this is Ed.
And this is Carl. No Mike again this week. Still just overloaded with work. Hopefully he'll be back with us soon. But yeah, this week, again, sorry, no Mike. But I can assure you he would love to be here. He just can't make it.
So instead, we have a substitute, in the guise of the charming and incredibly nerdalicious Joel Siegel.
Hello, Vorons. Vorfolk? Or
The Vorfolk. We call them the Vorfolk back in the old country.
You can't use Voron. That's our word.
Our word. Oh, okay.
TM.
Here's $250 for use of that.
So we know Joel through art channels. He's an artist in his own right and king of all pop culture.
And a heck of a interesting cosplayer when it comes to conventions. When I met him, he was actually a very convincing Peter Parker. So congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
What's your site that you need to check out your stuff?
Oh, my website would be Joel D. Siegel. That'd be JOELD as in dog, SIEGEL.com. A lovely website that will be soon rebuilt.
Cool. And yeah, buy it for yourself. Makes a great Christmas gift. So many wonderful things. Just, there's a clever motherfucker. That's all I'm saying. Check it. The shirt? Did you make that shirt? Is that a shirt?
I did not.
No.
I got it as a Christmas gift. But I do love this colorful shirt.
It is pretty cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Just do a tribute to that shirt, but using Yoda or something.
Mm-hmm.
You'll figure it out.
But whatever you do, don't sell it on Etsy. So we don't want you getting licensing issues again. So
no, I do not want Disney coming after me.
Because they come hard. And
Disney comes hard. I think when you go to the Disney law offices, that's underneath their title on the door.
There's a reason their logo's a mouse. That's how they invade. And then they'll get you.
And then they spread the plague. I mean, the love.
The love plague.
Same thing?
Mouse plague.
They make your house into the House of Mouse.
House of Mouse.
Speaking of Disney and the House of Mouse, we are here to talk about a very Disney-made movie. Not Disney in style or anything, but they did produce it. Guardians of the Galaxy, which actually just hit the $200 million mark and is poised to win the summer box office against Transformers: Age of Extinction. So congratulations, the good guys won.
Nice job. Good job, good guys.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I don't think I could handle.
Was even out.
Yeah, I couldn't handle another Transformer win in the summer. Like, I still don't understand who it is that goes to see these movies anymore. So.
Ugh.
Oh, I did. It was. I'd have to say it was one of the best comedies I had seen in a while.
Was it intentional comedy?
Oh no.
Oh, okay.
No, I personally classified it as a comedy, as I found the entire movie a joke.
Well, I see it as a step up from previous Transformers, where I tend to go there and I have this look. I'm not sure what's happening, because maybe they're presenting something that's supposed to be funny, but it just tends to be like horrifying because it was made. This is
yeah, like multiple people down the line said, "Yeah, this is okay and acceptable. Let's put it out."
Yeah.
I tend to fall asleep during them. I have a pretty solid track record of falling asleep in the theater during Transformers movies.
Yeah,
so
not easy.
No, it's not easy because they're so loud. But the second one, I woke up and Optimus Prime was dead, and I was so confused. I didn't know what was going on. And I just went back to sleep. Yeah. So,
Well, I was certainly not asleep for Guardians, and I'll tell you right now, you may know that I make comics, but I don't necessarily read comics. And Guardians is certainly in that category of I didn't know what the fuck they were. But all signs were pointing to, like, people who were into comics were loving this movie. And I thought they did an incredible job of making it accessible and letting you care. You know, like I cared for every one of those characters, and that's the thing I always hype on, story and character. And I didn't know how they were going to make $1 out of a property that most people haven't heard of. There's no Tony Stark shows up and like, oh, by the way, Guardians of the Galaxy, and then flies away for the rest of the movie. They totally just took it. It's its own thing, and it's got its own flavor, man. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I will totally agree. It's honestly a good refresh. A refresh in the sense of we could compare it to when you were a little kid and you were on family vacation. You went into the let's say the hot tub at the hotel you were staying at, and then right after that you jumped into the regular pool. Mm-hmm. It is that refreshing of a movie. It really was this awesome blast of just sheer fun. It brought together what a lot of us who are fans of classic 70s and 80s films were missing, which was true story and character development. It made you feel for the characters. It was action-packed. It had really great comedy, well-timed. Couple lines fell a little flat, but it's okay. Can't all be perfect. But it brought everything together in its own universe, its own realm, and the marriage of the graphics with everything, it seemed pretty seamless, and that's what we need to be seeing from now on, and pretty much should have been seeing for the past, I'm going to go with 15 to 20 years, but we're not, because Hollywood fell too in love with throwing CGI in there and giving us
cliché
shining silver platters full of steaming piles.
Yeah, they forgot the basics, and they tried to do the storytelling with the special effects, which, if you're a fan of Star Wars, you know that's not how it works. You have to have a good story and good special effects, or else you're just, you're going to get distracted by one or the other, and it just doesn't work. And I will say, I agree with you that it was refreshing, because I have a friend, her name's Darcy, and I talked to her online. She's from England. She's a big film fan. And she hasn't went and seen like the last 2 or 3 Marvel movies because she was getting into the feeling like they're all the same. If you watch one Iron Man, you've practically seen all the Iron Man. You substitute in a villain here or there, you change around some points, but basically it's Tony Stark. Something bad happens because of something he did in the past. He deals with it. He overcomes and grows. Makes a new Iron Man suit, the end. And that's basically like the premise for all 3 Iron Man films, even though I liked all 3 of them, but they got really samey, and overall I think the Marvel movies, all the way up to like Avengers, and Avengers was kind of like the pinnacle of the sameness, and I love the Avengers, nothing against it, but as much wit and action that came in the Avengers, it wasn't anything different than the past movies. It was just on a larger scale. And I think Guardians of the Galaxy really shows that if Marvel goes into the deep cuts, goes into the B-sides, it goes into these characters that aren't quite as well known or developed commercially in the past, they can actually bring something new to the table. Whereas Guardians of the Galaxy didn't feel like a comic book movie. It felt like a sci-fi movie. The whole entire time I was sitting there watching it, I was like, this could be an episode of Farscape, which is a high praise for me because I love Farscape. I think it's one of the best sci-fi TV shows ever made. And, it's like it felt in line with that universe and that sort of storytelling. And I thought it was refreshing. It was a nice change of pace. I want to see more like that. I want to see more Doctor Strange. I want to see Ant-Man. I want to see these guys that aren't your traditional, like, I'm a big tough guy, I'm going to go beat up guys. give me some magic, give me some space, give me some sci-fi, you know, like throw some stuff in there. It doesn't always have to be capes and cows. And I think hopefully this will put Marvel on track with that, because they already look like they're going that way. But I think this might cement that fact that like they don't have to all be men, they don't always have to be strong and patriotic heroes and like larger than life characters. They just have to be good characters with good development and interesting stories. So
yeah. And I have to tell you, one of my favorite things about this movie was the dialogue. I mean, not only was it well written, but I don't know if this is true or not. We're gonna have to wait till it comes out on DVD and Blu-ray for the commentary. But it felt natural, you know. It felt like everybody was allowed to kind of improv, just riff on the lines they were given, because, you know, there's so many movies, even, you know, like the Marvel movies that we talked about just a second ago and we enjoy, and there's banter that you like it's clever, but it's clearly scripted, and they're just clearly really good at saying these lines. But there's so many moments in Guardians, you know, the clip where they were about to kill Gamora, and spoilers, and you know, there's the weird thug in the background, and he's like, yeah, we'll bring him here, and then, you know, you get that whole bit, and okay, that's obviously scripted, but just the simple, you know, it's like, well, no, I don't mean draw his finger across it. No, I mean, this means where I come from, it's a figure of you're gonna kill him. He's like, you know what I'm talking about. He's like, yeah. And as soon as Drax looks at him, he's like, no, I don't. I mean, it was just on beat and natural. Like, he's literally a dude in the background. So, all of it.
And I don't think it fell into the Joss Whedon trap, because I love Joss Whedon, but he has this way that whenever he writes a script, instantly everyone becomes clever, funny, and smart. And, you know, and not all the jokes depended on that. Like, Gamora, she wasn't a funny character, but she had funny moments. And it was more like her not understanding Peter Quill's culture. Or Drax. Like, Drax was deadpan the entire time, but he had some of the funnier moments just because, you know, he wasn't clever, he wasn't funny. He was just playing the deadpan, not getting the joke guy, which I got to give a lot of credit to Batista, because some people were kind of crapping on him, like, oh, he wasn't that good. No, deadpan is the hardest thing to do in comedy. Like, when you're surrounded by like all these people that are just like kicking it off on all cylinders, like a Chris Pratt or something like that, it's so easy to get sucked into that energy and then let it go. But he kept it down low, he kept it minimal, he kept it deadpan, and he never let it get him away from him. And that is saying a lot for especially a young actor that's pretty much just a professional wrestler up until this point. So
yeah. And I even have to throw it out to the character I thought would work the least, and that's Rocket Raccoon. Mm-hmm. It was clear that he was going to be the mascot, the stuffed animal of this feature. I, again, didn't really know him. I've seen him before, but I didn't really know much about him. Mm-hmm. You know, and I just thought that he was going to make me cringe every time he showed up. But again, writing, great performer behind him, fantastic. Married with some, and I never give credit to CG, really. It's like, yeah, it's a beautiful film. Anybody can make a beautiful film nowadays. Rocket and his emotions were just so amazingly natural, you know? Not just mocap natural, it's just so natural. Mm-hmm. Really just another character that you resonate with and you care for. Mm-hmm. And I was mostly surprised by him more than anybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good shit. Wow. Well, we definitely have some more to talk about with you guys, but we're gonna pull the plug tonight. We're gonna pull the plug.
Metaphor.
Symbol. But in the meantime, we'll be back tomorrow. We're Guardians of the Galaxy with Joel Siegel. And you can always check out vorradio.com for more links to us. And you can check more YouTube if you want to watch us and see our sexy faces. Maybe we're wearing pants. Maybe we're not. It's a secret.
Spoiler, I am today. Ooh.
All right, throw out. I was going to keep this out.
I was like, I don't know why they call it a sarong when it feels so right.
Oh yeah, that's an Ed classic. Oh yeah. Yeah. But links to YouTube, links to
iTunes, Stitcher, everywhere.
Facebook, where we hang out between shows and pretty much all friggin' day long, swapping the funny. So we'll see you there.
So until next time, may the Force
be with
that ass.